How you guys doing? Welcome back to Conversations Over Chess. The person that's stopping by the show today is actually a jack of all trades. He's a unique individual who has actually been introduced to me from a friend of a friend. This was actually a little bit of time in the making, and I'm gonna give him his flowers at the end for what he has did for me as a young man and just my life as a journey and just becoming more of a man. He is blue check certified on IG. Hampton Workout is his facilities over here in the DMV area. Without further ado, people know him as Moose. Others know him as Hampton. Please, Mr. Hampton Workout himself. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
How you doing today?
I'm doing good, man.
We just see you working out with a young lady. How was that workout for her today?
That was cool. Actually, that was her first time, so she just started when you came in.
Okay.
So just pretty much saying where she is, what she knows so far, just pretty much like the basics, more like a kind of like assessment type style workout, more mechanic based. So
Okay.
Checking her out.
So I want to go a lot of different places in this interview, touch on a lot of different things, and we can first start off with how we just mentioned there was a young lady in here, and I know that you have two young girls, and I believe they are age 5 and 3 months, correct?
Yeah.
So how has having two young women, or young ladies, young babies in your world changed your life?
Man, everything. Like everything you do is for them. You know, think about them. Like just when I was training the girl just now that you saw, all I could think about was, man, I can't wait to train my daughter.
Yeah.
You know, so it's inspiration. Love it. You come home to them, they're excited. Of course, the one at 3 months, she's smiling already when she see me. So, well, the one that's 5, Caden, you know, so when you get in the house, run to the door. So, you know, they bring you up, lift you up,
Definitely.
keep your day going. So,
Do you come from a big family yourself?
I mean, as far as like,
Sibling-wise, more specifically.
yeah, no, it's my brother, my sister, and myself, and my parents. So 5 of us in the house, and their family really not from here.
Okay.
My mom is from here, but my dad's from Georgia.
All
but
right.
both sides of the family both live in those 2 states, so we really up here alone.
Definitely. I was going to say, where are you falling in the rankings? Older brother, younger brother, middle child?
I'm in the middle.
You're the middle. Okay.
My brother's 5 years older. My sister's a year younger.
All right, I'm sure he had a lot of butt whoopings when y'all was young, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
A lot of roughhousing?
Not with me and him. My brother was pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
you know, told me everything about sports, really. So I just was following his shadow. My sister and I, we used to get into it all the time.
Dang, for what?
I mean, you know how it is, brother and sister, especially a year apart.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
you still trying to be the big brother, but she really right behind you in age. But we still cool, though. But
That's good. I was going to say, we'll touch on sports in a minute. One thing I always frequently say on the podcast is that every great, wonderful man that I've had in my life has had a queen on his side that has 10x'd him in any shape, form, or fashion, had just leveled him up in all facets of the game. And one thing that's been just a running thing that I've understood is that it's made the individual want more for themselves, the man want more for themselves. How much has your queen helped you want more for your own self?
all the time, just believing in you, you know, making sure you always stay focused, even when things are not good or if someone to tell you you need to do something a different way, she's one of those people that always do that.
Okay.
So she's like she'll keep it real with me no matter what. Even when I think I might want to do something this way, she would tell me that I think you should do this or that's not right. So
Definitely. Just always pushing you to be more for yourself and want more for yourself, right? You had touched on sports just for a brief minute, and I wanted to know, is the rumor to be true? Did you actually broke your neck in high school?
no.
Okay. I was doing research on you, and they were like you suffered a severe injury in high school.
So I injured my neck more with a stinger,
Okay.
but
It wasn't like you was just almost dead type of thing.
no, I mean, it felt like it. I felt like it, but it mostly was the ACL injury is the one that changed everything.
Definitely.
But that injury, it happened in high school, but I think it actually showed up later in college, which was the reason I couldn't play no more because of the neck injury, and I think it came back from that injury.
Okay.
So it was like a real bad stinger that I never had before. I had stingers, but this one was different.
We always say, like, who put the ball in your hands for you? Who was that? Was that your brother that you had mentioned earlier? Or was it other individuals or just a love of the game? Who introduced you to football? Because the world doesn't know that you played Division I college football at Delaware State University, our alma mater, something like.
Hornets.
But who put the ball in your hands for yourself?
My dad played.
Okay.
He played A&T, then he played CFL, Canadian League a little bit.
All right. What position?
Corner. And then my
Okay.
brother, of course, my brother had me everywhere with him. So
Yeah.
I guess we got it from him, but my brother definitely wanted us like taking me out to the field and this and that.
Definitely. And did you play corner as well?
I played safety
You played
running
safety?
back.
I was running you over back in my prime. That's all I'm saying.
Nah,
That's how I'm
man.
jacking this. That's look.
That won't happen.
That's all I'm jacking is I was running you over back in my day.
Now it's time to pay these bills.
This episode is brought to you by Heart and Soul Training. They're the premier sports and basketball training in DMV while also offering training sessions in Delaware and New Jersey. Training athletes of all ages from young kids to even pro athletes. Some pro athletes by the name of Jordan Allen, a.k.a. J.A. to you all, who just hit 13 threes down in Mexico. Also, they trained Martez Robinson, the personnel at Delaware State University, down to a MEAC conference finals. Heart and Soul Training, what are you waiting for? Go check them out. Details in the description or on the screen. Peace.
Now back to the podcast.
So you were saying that your father and your brother were the main forces behind you playing football. Speak to were you heavily recruited in college and in high school? And one thing I also wanted to just get educated on is I had to interview Dr. Joma Watson, and he speaks about Largo, and he speaks about just the whole DMV and whose school is better. So speak to that, just the upbringing and just those rivalries from back in the day. Who was better back then? And speak to that a little bit.
I mean, they couldn't mess with me.
What school were you at? What high school?
I played at St. John's.
All right.
So I played at St. John's for high school, but I grew up in D.C. public schools.
Okay.
So I was actually enrolled in Dunbar.
All right.
So that's why I was going to go into St. John's offered me. So that was kind of a shock. I didn't know anything about private school.
Yeah.
And then I took a visit there. So
The rest was history.
yeah, pretty much started school lunch.
So y'all was always beating up on Largo. Let's get this on the record.
No, we didn't play them. They in Maryland.
Oh, okay.
so we did
Y'all was too good for them. I'm putting words in your mouth. Yeah, it was too good for y'all.
We definitely would have beat Largo though, but to be honest with you. But honestly, back then, man, it was DeMatha that was the powerhouse.
Yeah.
You know, our rivals was Gonzaga. We pretty much, since I was there, we beat them majority of the time.
Okay.
But
So not much of a rival.
it was crazy, but it's like that's actually the game I tore my ACL.
Hey,
So
okay.
that game is crazy. You couldn't even play in the
How
same.
many times did you tour it?
3.
Oof.
Tore it. The last game of the season, that's what kind of changed something, lost some scholarships, kind
Yeah.
of my recruiting. And then tore it again freshman year of college in spring ball. Then the next time I tore it was just doing intramural once I couldn't play no more.
Okay. Dang, man.
Yeah,
That's,
so-
basically, you ain't got no knees all on
Yeah,
here.
I'm telling you, man.
You ain't got no knee.
It's not like it is now, so
Yeah.
the training I helped them do with AC, I wasn't getting that. I was in the same session with this lady who might be 60, 70 years old
She ain't know what she was doing.
doing this. I don't know. There wasn't no sports specific to what I was doing.
And then how did you end up at Dell State? Were you heavily recruited there? Did you because your father went to an HBCU, know that you wanted to go an HBCU?
Nah, so I was, like I said, I was recruited by D1A school. I hadn't even D1 AA looks until I tore my knee. So, like a couple of schools was pretty much going to offer me. I got my first offer from Northeastern.
Okay.
And Michigan was on me kind of hard. Akron was a tough recruiter. Delaware State actually came later after I lost everything. Actually, they offered me the day before sign day, and I lost my last scholarship the day before sign day. So I lost a scholarship the day before sign day. Probably like an hour later, my phone rang.
Yeah.
I'm
Dell
like,
State
all right.
says, like, hey, come on over.
Going to Delaware State.
And speak to your time there now. Now you're live on campus, HBCU, boy. Did you meet your wife at Dell State?
Yeah, she came after me.
Okay.
So she came in after me. So we won a championship my first year. She wasn't there that year, so that was cool. It's the first school championship I ever won.
Okay.
So we won it that year. Had a good team, great experience. Yeah, of course, it definitely was different. You know,
Yeah.
first of all, I came from St. John's, so again, like the school lunch there. Dell State, man. You know how it is.
Listen,
we made
y'all had
it work,
wing night
though.
back then?
Huh?
Yeah, they had wing night back then?
You talking about, what was it?
I think it was every Thursday, blast music or something
fried
like
chicken Thursday,
Yeah,
Fried
yeah.
chicken. I think we do like the fried catfish on Friday.
that. Y'all was popping back then. We had only wing night when I was in Dell
Oh,
State.
nah, man, we had the fried chicken all the time.
Dang, man, bring back the fried chicken at Dell State, man.
So that was the move, and then the Taste Lounge Thursdays.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I heard back when y'all was there, you and Joma, it was like, man, it was a whole different world.
yeah, y'all got Chick-fil-A up there now.
Yeah, it was Wild West back in y'all day.
Man, we used to go to the Denny's, man.
Y'all had Denny's down
24 hours right across the street. So you walk. It's
Dang.
about 5 a.m. to full After the parties, everybody walking to Denny's.
See, it's the Wawa when I was there. There's a Wawa right up the street now.
Yeah, but you couldn't walk the Wawa.
Well, that's what we was doing.
Oh, nah.
We was walking that highway.
We walking the Wawa. So you barely walking to the mall. We walk there sometimes.
Yeah.
But Denny's. Yeah, Denny's was the move. I think Denny's was there for, a year. I think when I was up there.
I'm a Denny's killer. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I do not like Denny's.
Bro, that $2 all you can eat pancake. Shout out to Denny's. Shout out to Denny's.
Like the foul, the grand slams.
Facts.
Yeah, that was good times though.
So you spoke about how the ACLs is what changed everything for you, right? I'd be remiss not to mention that we are in your facility.
Okay.
This is Hampton Workout, in this facility that you own and operate. And where did that start? Because a lot of people see the finished product. I saw the finished product. I was introduced to the finished product, right? And we'll speak a little bit to that later. But when did the dream, when did the thought start? Because a lot of people have the, like, hey, I want to do this, and just write it down. What time was that? Like, where were you at when that happened? When he's like, yo, I could really work people out. But then it's just $1 and a dream at that point. So when was that for you?
It happened. I got into it in 2011. I pretty much just doing it. I just like to work out because I couldn't play no more. So I was like, that's the closest thing to me playing a sport. So I just like to work out, and people on Instagram was just pretty much commenting like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get some of that Hampton Workout. I didn't even come up with that name. I didn't even like it, to be honest with you. Like, it's too long name. But I mean, people kept saying it when they wrote, so I was like, I'm gonna stick with it. But it really took into, I probably would say, about to the third year. I was teaching for 5 years.
Okay.
And I ended up leaving my 5th year when I realized, I pretty much said, if I make my same amount I get paid my checks for working all the hours, so I'm gonna quit. And I made that, and that's what I did. And so I was making, I was teaching, so.
It's not nothing crazy, like, hey, I was making 6 figures, but it was enough that you were surviving off of that salary, and you can come jump over to do what you love and do.
And of course, it'd be different trying to make that, but I just put together the math. I'm like, well, I'm only doing this in a 3-hour time frame coming from work.
Yes.
So if I could do some stuff during the day, early morning. So back then, like I said, my school salary wasn't that much. I was still young. I was in my 20s. So let's say, I guess, like, let's say on 2,000 something, 3,000 a month. Okay.
Just bring it up a little.
Oh, my bad. I say like around 3,000, something like that a month. So if I can make 3,000 just training, doing 3 hours a day, I'm gonna leave and see what I could do. Quit the first month, man. Made 7,000. I was like,
so I might be on to something.
I might have to start to see what I can do a little bit.
I might need to put more hours into this.
Yeah. So that's what that kind of like gave me the extra push. But actually, it was one of my boys, Cortland.
Okay.
Went to St. John's with me, actually, but I knew him since we were younger through AAU.
All right.
And he's the one that actually gave me that push to say, man, he's like, man, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Can I make you a logo on the website? I was like, all right. Like, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And he just made it. And sent me some couple samples, like, you like this logo? I'm like, yeah, I like this one. Like, let's make it green. Like, I like the lime green thing. For some reason, I was into lime green at that time.
All right.
And he pretty much, that was like the push I needed. Like, okay, I said, if he believed in me that much,
definitely.
then
your Cortland is my Jaquan Slinky Jones, and he's an individual that was just like, bro, you thinking about doing a podcast, just go do it. Jump off the ledge, put the battery in the back, and forget about what anybody else says. Believe in yourself. And that's one thing that he put into me, and it seems like Cortland put into yourself, where it's just like, hey, look, believe in yourself, G.
Sometimes
don't worry about nobody else.
Yeah, facts, man. It's always, sometimes people just believe in you more, you believe in yourself. It's kind of like the same thing with me training. You paying me to help get you better as an athlete.
Yeah.
But I'm doing the mental part as well that people don't even realize. So I might got to bring extra energy out of you that you don't even realize that you have. The extra dog in you, that's the same thing. And people start believing that when they start seeing results. So like I said, he did that. And I was like, all right, and I took over from there. And pretty much, actually, the person that referred you to me, DMC, we called him.
Yeah. Shout out to DMC.
Yeah, DMC helped me out a lot, man. Once he came in here and started training, people seeing him working. You know, that, as far as like the athletes, I already had the adults was already coming in here.
Okay.
But I knew I wanted to train athletes as well too, because again, I wanted to be around sports, and that's the closest thing. So like, it was like coaching. I did the coaching. I
didn't scratch the same itch for you.
Yeah, but it's too much politics. It's like everyone be in control. I just like to do a thing, you know, with my group it is not a billion hours either as far as coaching.
For real.
So
You got to put in a lot of sweat equity with the coaching, man.
so
A lot of people don't understand, and it's a sacrifice away from your family as well.
exactly, a lot of time. So I mean, the time here too, but you have more control of it.
Yeah. So the individual giving you the push in the back right, you end up starting it 2011. You were saying it was just $1 in a dream. From where you were then to where we are now, right? I work in finance. How much of the upfront cost? Because shout out to DMC again. He has a clothing line called Pay the Cost.
Right.
This doesn't come free.
Right.
This machine could be X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
It's like there's an expense to this because we're talking to an accountant, right?
Right,
There's
right.
an expense that comes with this revenue, right?
Exactly.
You got to pay the cost.
Yeah.
So speak to how much it cost to get here. Did you have to finance? Did you have to take out loans? Because this is a each one teach one platform.
Right.
So I want somebody to say, hey, Hampton told me about this little program that if I do this, do that, I can get started too. Be just like him or better.
Man, the crazy thing is, I didn't do none of that, and I didn't even have nobody to even show me how to start a business. Number one, that was a crazy.
What was your
thing.
major in college?
I mean, sports management.
Oh, okay.
But I wanted to be an athletic director. I did
Yeah.
that. I was an AD at 23, running the program and changed the whole program.
Good stuff, black man.
You know,
Good
so
stuff.
that was my dream. I mean, football was my dream, but that happened so early. I was like, hey, I already did it. I thought it was gonna be later. You know, so
Yeah.
I kind of learned that business aspect through there and brought it here, and I didn't take out any loans or anything. It's pretty much just cash. I went back teaching when I had quit teaching the first time.
Okay.
Wife got pregnant, so I said, let me go back to start teaching again. You know,
Yeah.
never had a kid before, just to make sure
Gotta
I'm
make sure
doing
you
the
have
business.
that constant flow of money.
Right.
That's
So
a fact.
pretty much I took that and just kept saving those checks because I knew I was gonna open up a gym,
Mm-hmm.
and I just put a down payment down on it. Then I bought things here and there. Pretty much, I bought the main things I wanted first.
Okay.
I knew I wanted Vertimax. I knew I wanted turf. I knew I needed 2 racks.
Okay.
Everything else was gonna come. I had little stuff from doing boot camps outside. I had like plyo box. I had a little bit of weights, medicine balls. But other than that, I knew what I needed to attract attention. I knew I wanted to train athletes. I had to have turf. That was the first main
sure.
thing I had to get. It wasn't the best turf, but it was something that it looked nice when you first opened, of course, after a while, wear and tear. But that was the first thing. So, I mean, I wish I would did something differently, which I will tell people.
Now it's time to pay these bills.
Think global, act local. Wrld Izyorz offers the coolest men's fashion and accessories available at 104 William Street in Newburgh, New York, my hometown. It's also available at wrldizyorz.com. That is WRLDIZYORZ.com. Get you some.
Now back to the podcast.
I kind of spent out too fast.
Okay.
Instead of just make that money back from, let what you spent make the money back for
Yeah.
you. It didn't go make enough progress.
Was that spending more because it's like, hey, I know what I see my vision as, and I'm not going to
Yeah.
spare any cost to get to that because that's
just wanted
somewhat.
to hurry up.
Yeah, that's with me with the podcast a little
Yeah.
bit. It's like, look, it's like, obviously I have my 9 to 5 in finance,
Right.
making very good money, but it's just like, yo, I need to buy that $4,000 camera because it's just going to level me up.
You have
the
to.
Instagram reels, the this, the that, and it's like I have to put out that cost now, even though I won't make it back until X amount of years later.
Yeah, man, you have to. And this is my 6th year here, and we just launched the new recovery room
Yeah,
and the new squad racks. Those racks we had were Wrld, which is like one of the top brands, but it was the cheaper, racks of
Yeah.
the brand. But they got the job done. I didn't really have to get a new rack,
yeah,
but if I want to compete, if I had to compete with new gyms in the market,
definitely.
and yes, I still need a rack though, but it didn't have to be Wrld. But I wanted to be Wrld because they're paying good money to come in here. I want to make sure they're getting everything
Yes.
they paying for.
You pay for what you get.
Right.
And that if you're paying for high quality workout, I want to make sure I
gotta
have
get
that at all aspects of it, from
Exactly.
the stuff that we're using, the
Yep.
equipment wise, to just me being my thorough self
Exactly.
and saying that I want to make sure I pour that dog out in you.
You have to.
There's so many places to go from there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing I don't want to go over everybody's heads is that you had to still work your 9 to 5 while working towards your dreams.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I tell people all the time, use your 9 to 5 to fund your
I
dreams.
say the same thing every
I tell
time.
people that all the time. And I do like finance and accounting, and I don't know if I like it because of what I'm doing or if because I like the money.
Like
but,
money, right.
but I always tell people use that to fund your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay. Like you don't have to eat some stuff,
Right,
what we
right.
call shit, yes. And you're gonna have some hard nights, but again, you having your wife by your side, you having a little one as a responsibility in this world, makes you go a little bit more harder.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have your days. It's not all not all peaches and cream. Like when people say the saying, "Man, do I get gas or eat today?" No, I really been in there. Like,
Yeah.
And it wasn't that oh, I didn't have any money. I mean, that's probably the lowest I had that day.
Yeah.
But I might get $3,000 in like a couple of days or next week because that's how the business was going at the time. But no, I really been there, gas, something to eat, you know, and I still my family support me. You know, they still support if I need them to. So I'm gonna be okay. You know.
One thing I wanted to touch on
support
too.
around you for sure.
No, that is for sure. Support. Look, I always tell people it takes a village.
Yeah.
And that village means so much more to me in today's world. That's sitting here at 28 more than anything in this world. One thing I wanted to circle back to because I had interviewed BK Juices. They're out of Frederick, Maryland. Shout out to them. And they were a black couple. Started a juice bar right there in Frederick, Maryland. Growed it from the ground up. And one thing I wanted to ask you, which is what I asked them, is did you Google and YouTube University say, hey, I need to figure out how to get this incorporated. I need to figure out how to trademark and do this and the third. And how much of that did you do yourself and how much of that did you outsource? Because myself, being in the world of business, I could go to Delaware and have an LLC and an EIN because I know the wherewithal to go do that myself. But there's certain things that I'm like, hey, look, I might need to go pay a lawyer so I can go trademark this brand because I don't know that. So what part of the business did you do and what part of the business didn't you do? So that says it all.
Yeah, I just did everything. I did have someone, my best friend Alex. I think his dad, he the one introduced me to like LegalZoom and doing trademark.
Yeah,
so
LegalZoom.
I didn't know anything about that. But I remember him writing me on Facebook telling me, so I ended up getting that.
Okay. So the brand is all trademarked, everything up.
Yeah, the LLC was easy.
Yeah.
You know, people just told you, just go on the business site. And
People don't understand it takes 30 seconds.
Get an EIN number. Like when I first got that, I thought I was doing something. That was the most exciting number I ever got.
Yeah.
You know? Like get a phone number. Nah,
I tell
EIN
people all
number.
this time that because I work in the world of business, that it takes 1 hour to have a legal entity structure.
Yeah, it don't take long.
1 hour. Its hard part is to go become Apple now. Mm-hmm. Go make that $1,000 trillion revenue now.
Right.
That's the hard part. It's easy to go make the actual legal paperwork. It's nothing. Go become Apple.
You just gotta go do it. And then as I started moving on, like I came across some people that gave some advice to me. So I didn't get a damn shit. I didn't get my QuickBooks. I didn't even.
So don't worry, the IRS is not watching.
Man, I was just doing everything myself. Like I didn't.
So pay me in cash.
They're like, man, you know, QuickBooks could track to tell your stuff for you.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I
Yeah, no.
It was QuickBooks. It told me a business account. I didn't even have a business account. I just had 2 accounts. It was
Main
put this
one.
money over here. This money.
Just in case it got overdraft, just move that over there.
Yeah, so I was just using it different ways. So
Yeah.
you learn as you go, but you know the best experience is learning experience. So you know how that go. So as I'm in here doing different things, learning. Even when I hire people, which usually a younger staff or people that usually I had trained.
Yeah.
I try to get them that knowledge as I'm coaching. Like I teach them, even though I had to learn. Everybody don't want to be a business owner.
That's true.
But I still teach them how to be one because
You never know.
yeah,
You need to know the bare basics.
how to move. You know, it's other things out here, and that goes back to like what you said about 9 to 5. Like I don't talk bad about 9 to 5. I still teach.
Yeah.
And the kids ask me, Mr. Hampton, why are you here all the time? Because they're on my Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm like, why not? I mean, I'm not doing nothing during the day.
Yeah.
This not Florida and California, so it's that market of most people working for themselves in the gym is not really
Definitely.
here. It's across the bridge, but it's not on this side of town.
Yeah.
So
One thing that you had briefly spoke on that I want to dig deeper into is that you train up individuals, young, old, across all age groups, but you also give them the opportunity to say, hey, look, you've been through the program. You're now a young man, a young woman in this world. If you want to start training in my gym, I'll give you the opportunity. I'll give you the tools. I'll also give you a client. Speak to that, because one thing that I learned from just my first time ever interacting with you is that you are very intentional about a lot of things.
Right.
Why was that important for you to give those individuals that opportunity?
Because what's the point of us doing it? How if we always talk about support each other and help each other out, but nobody gives the help. So how are you ever going to get where we want to go as a people if we don't give out those opportunities? Now, when I do, I don't just choose people because, oh, I trained you.
Yeah.
Like, I trained you, and I know how you are. Like I have certain expectations that I look for when I hire trainers. So if I see those characteristics during the time I've been training you, or you interested in training, I'm going to hire you without no question.
Yeah.
You know, that's the hard part. you don't have to do because I already did it.
Yeah, did the heavy lifting.
You know, I've just pretty much give you clients now. Like you don't have to walk neighborhoods and put flyers in the doors. Like I
Yeah.
did all that. Me with my dog just walking with me. And I go drive to like the most expensive neighborhood and put a flyer in there.
Yeah.
And probably won't get no response back. Well, I might get one. So if I get one response back and they sign up, that time was paid for now.
Yeah.
So I walk for $400, or I might walk for one-on-one. I might walk for $1,100.
Yeah.
So it was worth it, you know. So, but I try to still make them learn the dirty work. That's why you'll see them clean the bathrooms.
Yeah.
I still clean my bathrooms in here. I still mopping.
Yeah.
And a crazy story. I had a girl, a little kid was in here. She was waiting. She asked me. She said, "Are you the man that cleans the gym?" I said, "Actually, the owner." So she said, "Why are you cleaning it?" I said, "Because if they see me do it, it also make them be able to do it too without being upset about doing it."
Yeah.
I said, "It also keeps me humble. Remember where I started from, cleaning the gym." And I also told her, it also keep a peace of mind. That's my time. I just go in my zone and I don't mind doing it. It's just like, to me, it's relaxing. I'm just cleaning, not thinking about nothing else, but just getting this gym right, easing mind. And she was like, "Oh." The little kid, that was the funniest thing that ever happened. Like, we was right in here. She said, "Are you the man that cleaned the gym?" Like, that's actually my name right there on the banner.
I cleaned the gym, all right.
You know, so that was kind of funny, but. And I'm glad she actually asked me that, because even though she was real young, I'm talking around probably about 6,
Those be the
7.
moments that just be touching. You be
like
like in the car just driving home. Woo!
You probably never know how she might have took that.
Nah, for real. Who gave you your opportunity? You just talked about walking the streets to hand out flyers, this, that, and the third. Did anybody give you an opportunity that was so profound that helped you, not just in Hampton Workout, but across your entire journey in life? Because one thing that I always say, shout out to Dr. Linda Murray Jackson. She was my Accounting 1 professor. She brought me my first ever business suit, and she also gave me $200 to put down on a security deposit to get me into dorms.
Okay.
That changed my life for forever. So who was that individual for yourself that was just like, yo, like they didn't have to do that, and that changed and it helped me for forever?
Man, it's not even, honestly, not even a person. It's Delaware State.
Okay.
The thing I want to do most, I lost. They gave me the opportunity. So that's just the start of just believing on second chances or someone believing in you.
Yeah.
You know? Now, if you're going to go people, of course, like my parents, my mom, you know, if I need something, she going to do it, you know? So if I'm struggling, or if I believe in I need to get this, and I might not have it right then, she going to make sure I get it, and I could pay it back, or it's anything. Like she's going to do that. So, and I seen that from her pretty much like working. She worked all the time. She was teaching. She did summer school, this and that. Get there, drive us to practice. I got practice. My brother got practice. I might have 2 games, soccer and football, in the same day. And then my parents, they going to make sure I get to practice and the game, no matter how tired they are. So all that stuff just come into play. So just anybody, I mean, it's a lot. And I got different stories of people I can say. Go back to one of my teachers, Miss Pelletier. Actually, I could say her, and she passed away from St. John's. Okay. I could not pass the SAT for nothing. So I struggled with that trying to play ball. Yeah. And she tutored me. Even when I graduated, I had a gray shirt, so I still was home for fall semester. I didn't go to school until spring. Okay. So I'm here in the fall, and St. John's is letting me come up there and get tutored, even when I left. So it's a lot of different scenarios, you know. I don't even know where to start. I have so many of them, but I could say Delaware State just because that's where I learned to be. That's where you learn yourself in college. So they gave me the opportunity to still be able to try to fulfill my dream of playing football. Yeah, that's so true. And it takes really a village to get to where we're at now today.
Now it's time to pay these bills.
This episode is brought to you by DJ DMC. For any parties, kickbacks, and weddings, DJ DMC has your back. You can find him on Instagram at DMCTheGOAT, on Instagram at DMCTheGOAT. Please be prepared to pay the cost as seen on my shirt. He also makes his clothing line, great premier brand, and be sure to reach out to his Instagram as well at Pay the Cost LLC on Instagram. That is Pay the Cost LLC on Instagram. Get you some.
Now back to the podcast.
And I just want to thank my village. I'm sure you're thankful for your
Right.
village because it means so much more when you get to this, become more of a man and into your own
Oh,
self
yeah.
and your own right. That you like, y'all understand the lessons. Like, I understand the teaching, I understand the tough love, I understand it more than anything else because tend to tell people that I felt like I ran away from those hard lessons because I had an uncle that was real tough on me, this, that, and the third. But now that he's gone of cancer, all I look back and understand is like, yo, now that I'm here now, I see the lessons Uncle Will was
Yeah.
trying to teach me.
You're going to say it, you're going to learn it, and you'll just catch yourself doing things like, oh, that's what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And I catch myself saying stuff to my daughter like, damn, my parents saying the same thing.
Exactly.
Like, talking about the music, we in the gym training. I'm like, what are y'all listening to? I'm like, that's the same thing my mom just say to me. Like, you start realizing what people was trying to,
Yeah, the little things, the little nuggets that they were trying to give you. That's one thing I want to speak about too, because when I came here a couple weeks ago, you were training adults. You had the music playing. There was
Right.
cuss words in it. Going back to you being very intentional, I came here today, so you're training a young girl, and there was no curse words in the music.
Yeah.
Where does that intention come from? Because this is something that I'm really like fakely obsessed about ever since I had been introduced to you. I'm like, yo, and I'll give you your flowers now. I was way toward the end, but I'll give you your flowers now. What you did for me, it means so much for me, my brother.
Right.
A fellow Hornet, a fellow black man, and as an individual who didn't know his dad, my uncle raised me, aunt and uncle raised me, you had said when we first got introduced, I'm going to do your podcast because nobody gave me an opportunity.
Right.
And not only am I going to do that, but I don't want it just because DMC said to go do it, but because I want there to be a lot more intention behind it.
Right.
Don't just come in here, ask me the generic questions, go do your research. And that really changed my perspective, man. It really means a lot because not only did I was like, yo, like be more intentional about everything in life.
Right.
Who am I talking to? Who am I spending my time with? What am I doing? What are my leisure thoughts? Like, be more intentional. And that it really has like helped me grow up. Not only just in the podcast, because it's just like, you know what? I'm not going to interview such and such because that was just one of those because I know them.
Right.
I want it to be a lot more intentional. This individual beat cancer. I want to shine light on that. I know what cancer is real. There's a lot more things that I just took with me, and I just want to say thank you. From a man
problem.
to man, I just
Oh,
want to
yeah.
make sure I said thank you for that, bro, because it really means a lot to me.
Nah, man, you're doing a great job. And so far, the questions you asked me, like, nobody else asked me those questions when I had interviews. So that's what I was trying to get at as well. Like, and I asked you straight up. I said,
Yeah.
"Did you know me since today?" He's like, "Nope."
Nah.
I'm like, "So how you going? You don't know nothing really to ask me besides the generic?
yeah.
Why you like training?
Yeah.
What started training? Like, who did you train?" I talked about that.
Yeah.
So you asked different questions, and so far you're doing a great job. So man,
I
flowers to you
appreciate
too,
it. And
man.
again, like this opportunity doesn't go overlooked. You don't have to do this, right?
Right.
This is an hour of your time that you'll never get back in your life, and I'm big on time. So I appreciate that. Anybody that gives me their time in their life, I appreciate all too real. But just what you did and that bug that you put in the back of my head, like, yo, be more intentional about stuff.
Nah, no problem.
That
man.
means a lot to me, G, for real, for real.
And how did you find out my nickname?
Now it's time to pay these bills.
This episode is brought to you by Toes clothing brand, the hottest streetwear from the DC area, based on the principle of community, perseverance, and integrity. From the community, for the community. Stand for something, or you fall for anything. Shop online at 110toes.com. That is the number 1 TENTOES.com. And follow on Instagram at 110toes LLC. That is the number 1 TENTOES LLC. We are 10 Toes. Get you some.
Now back to the podcast.
I got resources, man. So now, obviously, you and Joma, you guys balled up at
okay,
DSU
yeah,
together.
yeah.
I interviewed Joma, and when she said, yo, go be intentional and figure out some stuff about me, after AJ, shout out to AJ, made the connection to say, you know, him and Joma are of the same generation, I was like, yo, I need some inside scoop on Hampton. What can you tell me? What do you know, this, that, and the third? And he was like, look, we used to call him Moose, this, that, and the third. Well, tell us, why do you go by Moose?
Man, it's crazy, man. So I grew up in Southwest DC, so hang out at the rec center. We joning all the time. It's a couple of different ways, but it's one dude, my man J5, man. Shout out to my man J5. He just like, man, we joning. I'm a little kid though, like I'm like 5'6", so and they 5 years older than me, so I'm hanging out at the rec. Hey, man, you little moose looking at that. He just kept saying it, man, the whole day at the rec center. So after a while, I just started answering to it because everybody started calling me. Then of course the football thing came around. and you don't really see a moose run up football, but people would just put two and two together, like, that's the Moose right there. Ah. But you had Moose Johnson, too, and I played running back.
Okay.
So, you know, Moose Johnson played for Cowboys. So I used to run people over. So it just kind of went both. You know.
Okay.
It's cool, but I used to always introduce myself. Like in Dale State, like everybody called me Moose.
Oh, yeah.
Like everybody called me Moose, but if I was introduced to a girl, I would tell Stephon, but the dude, I say Moose. I always had it too.
Yeah.
Like that. My wife, she don't call me that at all.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
She don't. The friends do. Like her friends do too, from Dale State. So, but yeah, that's where that came from, man.
Yeah,
So
that's so funny. I was gonna say, I'm like, where did this thing even come from, man?
Had a name for years. So that's
Yeah.
definitely the neighborhood name for sure. Like nobody called me by my first name.
Speaking to more of just the athletes that you had, you know, train and this, that, and the third, who was the most influential, you would say? Not the famous, who was the most influential on you?
Oh man, shoot. It's different stories every year.
Yeah.
Like I got one right now. I mean, it's a lot of them.
Well, name off some of the more famous ones, but I want to know who's the most influential for you.
I would go by Ron Cook was definitely one. He's actually working with me now in here. DMC, of course.
Yep.
Kendall Walker. You know, we're real close.
And then the schools, I know DMC played at Villanova. Ron Cook played where?
Buffalo.
Buffalo, okay.
Kendall's at St. John. She's won Gabriel Player of the Year. She's going to Maryland.
Hey.
Malik,
I was at that game too.
Yeah,
I went to see.
Oh, you went?
I went to watch the women's because Brian Lomax played basketball out here.
Okay.
He took me to watch his women's high school team play, and then after that I saw Paul 6 or 7 versus
6, yeah.
Gonzaga.
Okay, yeah.
So that Gonzaga was a whole different atmosphere. I'm like, God dang.
There's a couple of them though. Like Malik Baker.
Yeah.
He's one. He's actually one of my clients I manage, but he's more like the underdog story.
Okay.
Then I have, of course, people with ACL injuries. So right now, like Princess and Prince, they're real good people. They came through the only athletes that came through last night support. Princess, we had a good story getting back from her ACL injury, so that kind of like set off a lot of things with that. But it's quite a few. I don't want to leave nobody out with kids. You know, they be saying,
well, it's all love for all y'all. It's just
love all y'all. But it's some ones that been with me through a lot from the jump, like Sonya, Mozzie, a couple of my early ones, Ty. So it's a lot of them.
Yeah. With the motto of conversations over chess being every loss is a lesson, speak to some of the losses and lessons that you've learned. Like, what lessons have you learned in some of the various losses that you've taken?
As far as like training or just
and
anything?
In general in life.
Passing up on opportunities.
Okay.
You know, if it's there, take it. You know, it's a lot. Give as much information you can. I always tell people, I wish I read more. Okay. You know, I started trying to gain more knowledge later that I wish I would have had
early on.
Yeah.
What is looking forward more towards the future? You got a lot of things going on. I know you have a sponsorship with Smart Water. How did that come about, and can you speak to that at all?
Well, that's still working in progress. It's more of a partnership, but it just started this week. So that's why I said it's still early. But pretty much they reached out to me, like one of the brand reps out here. Okay. And they want to get more into small gyms, so they called me and came through. So like I said, we still actually got a meeting coming up, so it's more still in the works. But they definitely
soon to come.
Yeah, they came through twice and just pretty much like, what you need for, you have an event, you want to get stuff going. So we can bring some waters for the kids, this and that. So I got camps coming up, so they want to pretty much just help make sure they get their brand out there and helping with different events that they can. So, but I'm trying to move more towards like getting the kids ready with some NIL deals and stuff like that. So that's why I said more coming up. But right now, just
future agent.
So right now it's just more basic. But I definitely appreciate it, for sure. Yeah. Like anything help, you want to help donate and you want to be a part of, and if you feel like giving us water to help. And it's smart water, so
no, for sure.
It ain't the cheapest brand, so that's for sure. So we definitely appreciate that.
The slogan, "Dare to be great." Mm-hmm. What does that mean to you?
I mean, be best in anything you do in life. Has nothing to do with fitness. It's just if you're gonna do something, I would say be great at it. Don't just do it. If you're a teacher, because you can want to work and you have doing it, you wasting your time and theirs. So what are you there for? Yeah. If you feel like you're gonna get half the work, go do something else that you feel like you could give all your all for.
No, for sure. That's for sure. I tell people all the time, my uncle used to be on my ass, but he's like, yo, if you're going to do it right the first time.
Yeah, just do it.
Just, if you gonna do it right the first time. It's a lot of many nights. He's like, yo, go do those dishes. I half-ass those dishes. I went to sleep. Nah. Come wake that ass up, bad boy.
And I
Come do these dishes.
And I wish I did more when I was playing. Like, as much as I'm on them and see the things they're doing, yes, I work hard. Like, I was not the guy that,
Yeah.
oh, you going to jog this sprint or you going to skip a set. Nah, that was never me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in practice. I'm going 1,000 miles per hour, but running the rock, catch intercepts, whatever. But I could have did more. Like, I did the things. Yes, I used to go outside, run hills in my neighborhood on my own,
Yeah.
call my boy, hey, come through, I'm going to run some routes. But still could have been more. I didn't have a trainer until when my coaches started training me once I was about to go to college.
Okay.
But it wasn't like these youngins now, man, they come in here, I might hit the field. But, I mean, it's social media, so you've seen it. It was more, it's access to more stuff.
I feel like you and I had the similar story in regards of, like, when I was in practice, I'm a workhorse.
Yeah, like
You're
gonna
not
go.
going to outwork me, but I didn't do that outside. Not to say that I didn't do it whatsoever. It's just that I should have done it more. I should have been doing it because I actually had a trainer in high school. But it's just
at a different level.
yeah, it's just that I should be doing the same intensity, same amount of work in front of the coaches, away from the coaches.
Right.
And I didn't do that. And I've seen how that had helped me fall short in some regards, in different regards as well.
And it should have been, I feel like I should be more consistent. Like I said, I would go out there run hills, or when I was at Dell State, if we didn't have practice and it's a nice day, let's go do some one-on-ones. But that should have been my routine. It should have been, I do one-on-ones today, go run hills today, and run hills when next time I go out there on my own. It needed to be this
Every single day.
Like film. All right, we got film. Okay, I'm gonna go watch film with the coaches.
Are you watching?
I didn't go watch film when we didn't have to go watch film.
Yeah.
So like little stuff like that. If I'm watching film in the house, I'm pretty much just watching my highlights.
Right.
I wasn't really studying film.
And a lot of people overlook those little things because even just the new Netflix, whatever documentary that came out about the quarterbacks, they had follow Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins. You see how these guys are invested. You see how it's their life. And that's something that Coach Brother used to always preach to me. Shout out to Coach Brother, my AAU basketball coach, although I played college football. It's like, yo, you want to party with these little knuckleheads or you want to party with the Beyoncés of the world is what he used to always tell us. And you got to put in the work.
You do.
It has to become your every living, sleeping dream. And it doesn't have to necessarily be on the field, but outside the field is what we're talking about.
Right, yeah.
And if you're not doing those little things, somebody else in Minnesota is.
Oh, yeah, always.
Somebody else that's less talented in Texas is. Somebody that's over there there's people out here putting in the work.
Right.
And when you look back and you're like, oh, that's why they passed me up, don't get mad.
Yeah.
You had the same 24 hours.
You got to make sure you use it right.
Exactly. Last couple questions I have for you is what's next for Stephon Hampton, the individual, the family man, and then what's next for Hampton Workout?
Pretty much trying to start more businesses.
Okay.
So trying to see what I'm gonna do next. I mean, I'm thinking about real estate. I got this thing that, my wife, she already knows that I want to pretty much when we retire, I want to get property out Florida.
Okay.
So I want to. Cold season, I want to live down there. Once you come back here, rent it out.
Yeah.
We like to travel, so have a spot we can just always go to. Probably get, like I say, more real estate. As far as like this place, I want this to be just a place known not just here, but more of when these kids, when you go train or the pros go train, they know where they're going the off season.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be back at their home. They go in different places.
Yeah.
I want this to be a place like that where it's multiple people like, where you going for all season? We might go out here at Hampton Workout.
Yeah.
So let that be like a landmark for people to come to. So that's one of the goals. If that happens, happens. But if not, what we're doing here, it's still a great feeling.
Definitely.
I feel like we're doing a great job here in the community, helping as much as we can, even giving back. We do all kind of events. So, just keep being there for the people.
Okay. The last question we always end the podcast with is if you know how to play chess, we typically ask you what is your favorite chess piece and why. But if you don't, we always ask that you look into the camera, right? Mm-hmm. And imagine that the entire world is watching. We got China, we got Germany, we got Brazil, we have the entire world is watching. What advice would you give them to save them some heartache and pain? Any advice at all? And you just look into the camera.
I will say, I pretty much already said it earlier because I say it all the time. And it's the same thing, just, give it your all. Whatever you're doing in life, don't take it for granted. You never know who's watching. So, again, when you're doing something, be the best at doing it. Because that time you slack off could be the opportunity that you missed out on for somebody that was watching you. And you missed that chance by not being your best or giving your all. So, also try to stay stay encouraged about yourself, what you're doing. Do the right thing. Don't just put stuff out there just to be staying and following trends. Stay within yourself. And again, just be best. Continue to be positive, man. Things will be good for you.
All right, appreciate you, sir. Thank
you.
you for joining the podcast, man.
All right, appreciate it.
See you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Nothing ever comes to a sleeper but a dream. So I'm woke, try and get that money any means. Used to watch mom sweat them clothes to get them clean. Grew up in the slums, ain't shit that I ain't seen. And it's still free, all the guys till they free. Couple niggas crippin' and the others throwing bees. One thing for sure, they gon' all ride for me. Cause we ain't never phased, no gang family.
Always go there, go straight right back down to that foot just came from. All right, ready? Hit the ground hard, go back off the ground quick. Hit!
Took a couple L's, but we like to call those lessons. Coming from the burg, I was taught to pay attention. Cause them snakes out hissing and they'll sneak you in a second. For that I keep a circle that be tighter than a virgin. Couple niggas screaming, fuck the law, ready for purging. Tell them let the 40 touch a nigga like it's flirting. A lot of hidden hate, oh, y'all thought y'all was lurking. But ain't no time to lack, nah, I'm always observant. Grew up in the field, but I never played the corner. Still could jam a nigga if I don't like the rowdy running. I've been underground, running around like head tummy. Came from the bottom, I swear I started with nothing. So how can niggas hate? I swear to love it all be fake. Smiling in my face but wanna do me like I'm ace. That's why I say my grace before I put them on a plate. Cause I know I'm too important like a fucking uppercase. And life is like a race, it's just all about the pace. For a little money, dudes become a big disgrace. The fake come and go, but the real can't be replaced. They say the sky's the limit, only limit I embrace. And I'm about $1, no surprise I get the cake. Cause I was taught to hustle in any weather, cannot wait. I done had to starve just to make sure others ate. My pain versus your hurt is something that cannot relate. They try to lock the door, I kick that bitch like Kevin Gates. Couple roadblocks I ran through like I was freight. Heart of a lion, I was molded by the apes. That's why I stand talking, never fall in no debate. I'm on a mission, I gotta get it. For all them long nights, the oven had to heat the kitchen. For all them starving nights, I went to sleep just to forget it. No food, but the sink was always full of dishes. Check the refrigerator, knowing nothing even in it. Nights like that can turn a young boy into a menace. Same reason I don't give a fuck about no feelings. Cause I'ma be starving till I count 100 million. Part of my bag, nigga.